Good morning, everybody, and welcome on in to our Valley News Now desk on this Tuesday morning. We got a pretty beautiful day on our hands ahead of us. 59 degrees right now. We're sitting in Fargo, and we are in for a change, unfortunately, and I'm going to break that down for you in just 1 second. One more time, thank you so much for joining us here on our Valley News Now desk. My name is Alex Larson. So, just like I said, that's the first thing we're going to go over this morning. We're going to talk weather. I'm going to get my screen set up to share with you quickly here. And we're going to hop on over to the Valley News Live website here. We're sitting at 59 degrees, like I said, here in Fargo, fair conditions. It's going to be pretty sunny today, mostly sunny. We're going to go all the way up to 84, so we got a ways to go, 25 more degrees before we reach the high today. And it looks like that should be coming around that 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour. It looks like tomorrow we're going to be seeing some showers, few storms south, highs in the 70s, mild cloudy afternoon. And we've got a precipitation chances here. You can see that comes in tonight, some scattered chances there. And you can see how that continues throughout the week. Clears up a little for the weekend, but we got a little ways to go through before we get to that. I'm going to head on over to our 11-day planner. As you can see here, going to be warm today. Tomorrow, showers, like we said, rain, go away for the rest of the week. We're going to get down to 66 by Friday, and then we're going to stay pretty mild in those mid to low 70s as we take on the weekend and next week. Now remember, our First Alert Storm Team works very hard to keep you updated, in the know with everything you need to keep you prepared and safe. Especially as we take on those rain chances that are coming this week. To know when and where that is hitting you, our First Alert Storm Team will have that available for you on the VNL Weather app. You can download it for free. It's in every app store, no matter if you got an iPhone or an Android. You can get a hold of that. That radar will follow you no matter where you go, so you can always have our First Alert Storm Team with you to give you the latest on weather conditions. We're going to continue on to our news portion of this segment. Today, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in the case of a West Fargo man found guilty of murdering his wife back in 2023. So Spencer Moen is now asking the Supreme Court to reverse his conviction. He's also asking for a new trial. Spencer Moen is asking the Supreme Court to reverse that conviction again. If you remember, back in May, Moen and his attorney filed an appellant brief claiming that Moen's Sixth Amendment rights were violated during his trial, where he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in the murder of his wife, Sonia. So Moen and his attorney are claiming the court allowed 2 minor witnesses to testify remotely through Zoom from a separate location without establishing that live testimony would result in serious emotional trauma. The 2 minor witnesses I'm talking about right now are Moen's youngest kids. They were inside the home at the time of the murder back in August of 2023. State of North Dakota filing their brief within 30 days of Moen's filing and states the Sixth Amendment was not violated. State's going to make their case during arguments about how it would have been unlikely that the kids would have been able to provide trustworthy evidence if they testified in their father's presence. In doing so would harm their psychological well-being. So Moen's going to be in court this afternoon, and we're also going to be there. And we'll bring you the latest on today's oral arguments that's happening tonight on Valley News Live. If you want to catch up and get the latest on this case, get some background on what happened, we've got that all available for you on our VNL News app, just like the VNL Weather app, free to download, easy to use. And political violence was also a hot topic at last night's Fargo City Commission meeting. So after a city health and safety manager made a Facebook post after the Charlie Kirk assassination saying MAGA promotes hate and Kirk will not be missed.
And it's not
We're going to hear from commissioners right now on that.
The request is what people around the country are talking about. People around the city and the region are talking about social media posts, which I know you are aware of, Commissioner Strand, what city policy is, and how do we deal with staff feeling unsafe.
And that's Commissioner Michelle Turnberg requesting discussion on that topic. City leaders also briefly discussing whether they have the right to fire an employee over social media posts, with some concerns over First Amendment rights. Commissioners did vote 3-2 to not continue that discussion. And last night's City Commission meeting also heard updates on where it could potentially move the Downtown Engagement Center, mentioning 3 finalist locations. Locals, though, expressing strong thoughts on the Downtown Engagement Center, really in general. We're going to hear from some residents now.
You need to make some serious decisions, and the decisions need to be dealt with. Who is important? The citizens of the city and the ones that are paying taxes and the ones that have to endure all of the things that are going and that we can't even, my wife says, I don't even want to come to downtown Fargo anymore.
The deck is a critical access point, safe, welcoming, and low barrier. It provides essential services like showers and laundry while connecting individuals to community resources that address broader social determinants of health.
So the city did announce that they're planning a public forum that is going to happen pretty quick here. Let me bring up those details for you. They're planning a public forum on the finalist locations. That's happening next Tuesday. That will be at 5 p.m. And a Grand Forks man facing felony charges for domestic violence and terrorizing after police say he got into a verbal argument with a woman and then put his hands around her neck. So police say this happened at 9 p.m. on Saturday. Details here, we're looking at George Condi Jr. Court documents say he told the victim, "I got to take a knife and kill you," following an argument. The victim feared for their own life and decided to go to a different room where Condi Jr. followed them. According to court documents, Condi Jr. got on top of the victim and put his hands around her neck. Deputies on scene report redness and bruising on the victim's neck were consistent with strangulation. Condi Jr. is set for a preliminary hearing. That's happening on October 27th at 10 a.m. And following the assassination of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, there's now a huge spotlight on political violence here in America. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. The question is, where do we go from here? Valley News Team's Ethan Kramer has more on the political violence sweeping the nation.
On September 10th, a gunman used a single bullet to kill popular conservative activist Charlie Kirk at an event in Utah.
Be advised, UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event.
Kirk's killing has added to a string of political violence.
Our society seems to have devolved into this being the norm, and I reject that. It cannot be the norm. We cannot allow it to be the norm.
Last year, not one, but 2 attempts were made to kill President Donald Trump. In April, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's home was set on fire. In June, Minnesota Rep. Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were shot and killed in their home. And now, last Wednesday, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed in cold blood.
We have a very polarized environment, and people are the people who are engaged heavily in politics are frequently very heavily tied to one position or the other.
Dr. Barbara Hedrick is a political science professor at MSUM. She says the algorithms on social media are playing a part in what we see. Algorithms only generating one side.
You are fed by the algorithms who want to keep you online with more and more information they think you want to see, not broad information. You have to do a little work yourself to get broad information.
So what can be done to stop the political violence? Senator Kramer thinks we need to come together.
We need to find things to rally around together and while still having our political disagreements. And it's a scary time, Ethan. I can tell you, as a member of Congress, I never once in the previous 10, 11 years of my service in both the House and the Senate have I ever felt like I was in danger until recent times.
In Fargo, Ethan Kramer, Valley News Live.
And happening tonight, a local group will be holding a vigil in memory of Charlie Kirk and NDSU. That vigil is open to the public, and it's going to be held at NDSU's Churchill Field. That's near NDSU's Memorial Union, near the STEM building. Vigil's going to start at 7:30 p.m., and we will have a team there. We'll bring you coverage right here on Valley News Live. And following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, attention is on Turning Point USA, the conservative student organization he founded. So Kirk had been scheduled to appear at the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks on October 9th. That was part of his fall 2025 tour. UND officials say student safety will remain a top priority as it plans for the event continue.
In light of recent events, I don't think the system itself has changed, but now there's a higher awareness of threat levels that could happen at events like this, as we've seen in Utah. So we definitely, we'd be remiss if we didn't take that into consideration when we're planning our events. So we try and take a real-time approach. I look out across the country and see what's going on at different events, and then I try and hone that in here, to North Dakota and specifically to the University of North Dakota.
Chief Clark says UND's public safety team had been in talks with student groups and community leaders even before the Utah shooting. And the campus is now assessing security in real time for the Turning Point USA event. That is still happening, and it's scheduled for October 9th. And we, of course, will keep you updated here at Valley News Live as that develops on the details of that situation. Now, that's about all I got for you here on this Tuesday morning. Remember, we got a pretty summer-like day in our hands today, so get out and enjoy those warm temperatures before that rain and fall-like weather continues to move in throughout the rest of the week. And for all your news, you can keep updated on the VNL News app as well as online and on air. We'll keep you updated in the know with everything you need to know what's going on in your community. Again, that's all I got for you. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday and a fantastic rest of your week. I'm Alex Larson. I'll see you tomorrow.